I was in there stressing over bullshit a minute ago. I finally made my way outside, and what do I find? But the most idyllic of perfect weather conditions one could even imagine. Hell, it's just like a dream. 74 degrees, a little bit of warmth on you in the sun, the breeze noticeably cooler than the rest of the air. It's just nice, folks. Enjoy what you're at and what you're doing. Been contemplating this one for a while, but now she's developed a misfire, which means we got to do it. Spark plugs and coil packs. The front three are easy. Where's the back three? Underneath that, which of course means it comes off. Not the worst thing in the world to do. We're going to get right on it. So, let's begin pulling things apart. Luckily, I have more than one day to do this, because I'm just now getting started. Going to go slow. I'm likely to take care of these front three and this front valve cover gasket on this setting. But we'll see what happens. Got to start somewhere. I guess I'll start with the plastic cover. Or no, maybe the battery disconnect. Yeah, sounds like a plan. Let's get to rocking. That wasn't too terribly difficult to get off of there. Boy, is she ripe, though. I already wiped off a little bit of that. It was pretty darn nasty. You can see that there. Reason why... Uh-oh, it's a black gasket. Uh-oh, it's a black hard gasket that retains its shape. Yepper, that's going to be the one Toyota stamped in that back in the early 2000s. Came out of there in one piece. Luckily, that was easy to remove, no fragments. So we're going to get that cleaned up, get these spark plug seals out of there. They're equally rock hard, sound like metal. Nope, them come out. They're going to be replaced with soft gummy silicone stuff. And parts going back in. 6 brand new Walker coil packs. Denso air filter. Imagine that. That's what it's made with. Torque strut mount, which isn't quite as bad as I thought it was going to be on the car, but you know, them are inexpensive, and yes, it is ready. It's had a misfire on it, so it's had some extra wear, right? NGK laser iridium spark plugs like we ought to do. I'll probably get away with reusing that gasket and the throttle body gasket, but I'm not going to pretend and play. Here's my new set of Apex gummy bears. Yeah, they're nice and soft comparatively. So let's pop that out, get that valve cover cleaned up, get that put together, and do the front half today. The rest will happen, but the misfire is on number 4, which turns out is the front middle one, not the front back one. So let's do that and see that we clear that misfire and she runs happier, and then proceed with the rest. Oh, I forgot to say while I was even here. Oh, it looks like a very wide gap on that spark plug. Pretty ripe right there. 3 of them just alike in a row. Similar condition, same deal, a little bit of white glazing. But mostly just, where'd my electrode go? Focus, you funny feller, you. Yeah, there you go, there it is. That's pretty ripe and ready to change. Iridium, Denso, of course. Alright, out with the bad. I would bitch, but then I have to remember this is what I get paid to do. I chose it. Out here declaring total war on seals. Spark plug tube seals. You know, Toyota decided those needed a metal steel insert in that, and that they needed to have Vox brand make the seals so that they would just crumple, crunch, crust. The rubber part just come right off into chunks, hard as a rock. But then the outer part, painted metal, is married in there, and then they bent steel tabs over it just to make it extra fun. So, Willie don't play with shitty seals. Fire, implements, hammers, screwdrivers, seal pullers, plastic stuff, they're out. Minimal marring to the inner surface, but not the important surface. I mean, we just have witness marking there. But you look at the business side of things, it ain't chewed up. Sealed perfectly. I'm just happy I managed to do it without busting this freaking... That is not very thick. So, now I'm going to clean that up, put the seals in it, put the bottom seal in it, stick it on the car, add the 3 coil packs and spark plugs, crank it up, and my mission, the misfire, ought to be gone. So, yeah, there's what's left of one of those. Yeah. I don't think that was doing much of a job of sealing no more, do you? Yeah, that's pretty dead there. Well, look, now I can see the spring in it. Wonder what that spring's for with rock hard seal. I can't cry. Wait a minute. What? How old is this thing? It can't drink yet, but it's getting there. We've got it prepped and ready to install in the car, Jenkins Performance style. You can tell I was here because my red gasket tack is absolutely everywhere. We've got my Apex brand seal glued in there, and we got our new seals in there. All that's happy. Don't let that skid up ugly looking fool you. Them's ready to actually seal up the damn spark plug tubes this time. So we're ready to rock. Got my bolts soaking in the stuff. Got everything over here prepped, ready to go on. So let's flop this valve cover on this car, fire it up and see what the hell, see if that misfire goes away. It will. Them plugs look like shit. The front half, admittedly the easy half, of the reseal and tune-up is now complete. New valve cover gasket, sealed Jenkins Performance style. Walker Thunder spark coils for the front bank. New NGK spark plugs. No more leaks up there, and that had been leaking bad. It's the best I could clean up that aluminum. There's going to be some stain to it 20 plus years later. That being said, all happy. Check engine light is clear on cylinder number 4. Yeah, I mean, it had a heavy stumble, bumble, thumpy miss. Let's see what she does now. Contact! Ain't no misfire in that anymore. And we still have 3 terrible spark plugs and coil packs on the back half. We will get to them tomorrow. That's going to be enough of that. But right now, problem solved. Car back happy. Back healthier. That misfire, gonzo. Totally different story. This was upon arrival. Happiness. After much toil, the sarcophagus is finally open. We've got the upper intake manifold off the car. Didn't have too big a fight with much. Now I can access this back bank. I can reseal that, which is sorely needed. Sorely. It's been leaking quite a bit. And the spark plugs and the tune-up side of things will make things very happy. I'm just not going to disturb any of the stalactites in that intake manifold. That's just not the thing to do. That just gets left the hell alone. Completely. We got everything marked. We got everything off. I did drop one little nut, but I think I have a nut that'll do it if it's not on the ground. It's a little bitty 10mm thing. Not being coiled. Kind of breezy, so I'm going to set this aside. It's time to go take me a brain lunch. After all that, I used up all my THC points, so we have to go regenerate some. Got the intake manifold off here on the ground. All the associateds. So the scary part's done. Nothing snapped and busted. That was my fear, is that one of them bolts gets seized, taking that apart, and snappy snap, oh crap. Nope, that's not what she did thus far. I doubt the valve cover bolts covered in oil would do such a thing. So, time to go in, regroup my brain, have a smoke, do the dirty work, put it together, get the hell out of here. Here we go. Well, it looks like we just delivered a 3-pound baby girl over here. Got the valve cover off the Camry. Finally. They made that impossible to get to, so I did find that the back 3 spark plugs were NGK. Front 3 were Denso. That means somebody's done half this job before. Meaning they didn't get back here. Also, them valve cover bolts for the back half, they're all just finger tight. That gasket was that degraded. So it's just been barfing all over the back of the engine and all over the place back here. That problem gets solved right now, as well as the grip keepers on spark plugs. They're out. Those get replaced by brand new laser iridiums. Got brand new coil packs to go back there, new seals. Now I just got to clean torch beat the seals out of this thing, put the new ones in, and we're ready to reassemble this car. It ain't going to be ready for 6 o'clock like the customer had kind of hoped, but the customer is all good with that. They're happy. Here we are. Now, there was some fear about this one. You know, a 20-plus-year-old car, no matter how hard or soft the job is, right, there's a bunch of little bolts on this one. We were afraid something might seize and snap. No snappies this time. Last obstacle left is to get them spark plug tube seals out. And had good success yesterday. We're going to repeat the same methods. Wish me luck. Continuing to make progress. Valve cover is resealed. Went ahead and signed that up. Valve cover, coils, plugs, Willie Jenkins 623. So all that's done. So more crap to plug in back here. Got to put the intake back on it. But right now I'm going to go regroup for a minute. That's as clean as I could get that, folks. That was like 5 cans of some super business cleaner. But as you can see, got my new coil packs in line there. Everything's together. Gonna recheck the tightness on that seal, but she's certainly gonna be happier with that. It had to be leaking to the point it was gonna be sucking air like PCV. So together that part, time to go regroup for a minute. I've had enough for a second. It's the way it is sometimes. I got cuts and slices all over me from that. My hands are too big for this one. But anyway, just a quick regroup and then we'll finish up. Relearning its idle position in real time, folks. Had to reset that. It was sitting around nothing. Watch her come on up. It's amazing. That's the kind of thing that freaks somebody out after you get done working on one of these cars. When it gets up to around 1,000 or 750, it ought to get quieter. Just don't touch it. So if this happens, you have to cycle the key several times, get the car to start, and it'll want to sit dead. Get her into drive with the parking brake on, and just let her sit here and idle for a minute. And after 5 to 10 minutes, it's slowly figuring out how it's supposed to take care of itself here. But you can hear that idle coming up, and it was sitting all the way at like 0 and put, making you think things are wrong. But no check engine light. That's your telltale that that's all okay. We'll let this run just a few more minutes. Sounds like it's relearning still. Then we'll take another little test drive around the neighborhood. But you can slowly see that RPM hand picking up just inch by inch by inch by inch. Throttle position must be relearned after these batteries have been disconnected and left off for a while. Don't freak out. What a day. Finally got that all together. Found I had a ground wire off on the back of that intake manifold. Took me a second. Figured that out. Idle had to be relearned. It tried to idle at 100 RPMs for a few minutes, but that's common to Toyotas when you've disconnected the battery and left that for any amount of time. Everything's good though. No check engine lights, power restored, no more P300s, that's for sure. We got some rattle and clatter over here. I really believe it's the air conditioner on the car, or if there's an idler pulley somewhere involved with this old belt drive. I think that might have something to do with it. But what I can tell you is, this don't leak oil on the valve cover anymore. You can see my hieroglyphics back there proving I was there. Can't sign that way from that position. And it's also on top of my backmost coil pack. I don't know if you can see it through the hole, but it is like that down there. So, all together, calling the customer to come pick up. We'll see what else they think about it. But mission accomplished. The big bad job is done.